Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 5, Lara Countdown. So hopefully you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. And I want to start this video out by saying Happy Mother's Day. You can see a little dedication. Love you, Mom. And I see Valar starting it out already with the Super Chat. Happy Mother's Day to all. Hope you had a blessed day. And hopefully you guys had a good few days. A chance to kind of recoup and get away from a little bit of 999 gaming, the 999 army. I know a lot of you guys were still active, but good to take a little bit of a break. But we are back in full effect, and we've got a busy week scheduled. If you guys are a member of the Facebook 999 army, you'll see that Kel posted a calendar for the rest of the week. So we got this stream, 8 o'clock. We've got the reaction video tonight, which will be at 10:20ish is usually when we do that. We've got complete recap tomorrow, random things. It's going to be a full week. And also another, thank you, Valar. Appreciate that. Shout out to 999 Army, Kill, Steph, Kels, Bree, Emmy, Sweet Tom, sponsors and patrons as well. So appreciate that. All right, we are going to talk a little bit. Thanks, Mag. It's like, hot damn, you're back. I am back. Hopefully, you know, sometimes you got to recharge the batteries a little bit. They are fully recharged. And we're going to be Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. Game of Thrones is starting up this Thursday. But here's some good news for everybody. The main spoiler site that is out there is, well, I don't want to say this in a bad way because everybody kind of likes their information. But for us that like to do predictions, there is a issue with getting the spoilers. So we'll get a little bit more time to talk about the episode and do predictions. So no spoilers tonight, but we are going to talk about the teasers, the sneak peek, and I just think it's a little bit more fun to give our predictions. So I got some people like, Valar, is that yay for Game of Thrones or yay because the spoiler sites are having a hard time with their sources? So apparently some regular sources that have been given information are on lockdown, and people are just scurrying around to try to get some new stuff. But we're going to talk about John. So what would you guys call this episode? Would you call it a filler episode? Or would you call it a kind of like a flashback scene? The word filler episode to me just makes me think that it's not good content. It's just, you know, they didn't have a good storyline, so they wanted to throw this in there to fill a little bit of space. Backstory, I think backstory too. I'm a little bit more comfortable with backstory. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what is going to go down tonight. Because I did watch the, you know, both the previews, and it looks as though, I don't know how much, if we're going to get anything previous to the apocalypse. Because from what I saw with John, when he's with Naomi / Laura, I don't know if she's Laura and she pretended to be Naomi or if she's Naomi and pretended to be Laura. So, one, I want to see how that goes down tonight. Whether or not she was honest with him or if she's honest with the group. So, there was some dialogue that went down in tonight's episode where they are rowing along the river. Rolling on the river. And he does tell her he's a cop. And she says something along the lines of, well, where are your guns? And he goes, what do you mean? Guns? What do you mean? So either he's very paranoid that she's looking through his stuff, or she is looking through his stuff. So what do you guys think? I'm going to leave it. This is the 999 prediction part right now. Is Laura sneaking around and going through John's stuff, or is John carrying around a lot of baggage? Went through a lot of stuff being a cop. And any additional predictions you want to attach to that, go ahead and type them in chat right now. I'm going to call on a few people. So those of you that are new to the stream, here's the way we roll at the 999 Army. Is I'm just kind of moderating, and you guys your comments are part of this video. So I'm looking for your thoughts, looking for your interaction, and if you type something, it very likely will be used in a video. Sometimes we'll call on you, but it is a permanent part of this video. So we got a few people saying, Deborah Mooney says it's just stuff he's dealing with as a cop. Steph the Cuervo Queen said Laura's sketchy. Valar says a little paranoid. Ultra Group says sneaking. So we got people on both sides here. It's always interesting to ask those and see kind of how the audience is split. Let me get to Dawn of the Frank. Dawn of the Frank says, Happy Mother's Day to all the 999 moms and hello to Kills, moderators, and the rest of the Army. Thank you so much to Dawn of the Frank. Appreciate that. And just good to be back. Good to, I missed you guys. And don't be offended. I just generalized by saying guys. Missed the guys and the ladies. Perhaps her real name is Valerie. Isn't that a Steve Winwood song? Valerie? Deborah? It just popped in my head. I'm the same boy I used to be. I'm pretty sure. We'll have to add that to random things. Why? And why Valerie? Just out of curiosity. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Everything is music, right? Bumblebee Brown, thank you. And also a Monkey song. You know what? I'm not familiar with Valerie by the Monkees, so. So a couple things that I have highlighted. With tonight's episode, she apparently, I don't know what to call her. You know, this is like, do I call her Jadis? Do I call her Ann? I'm so confused with that as well. I always get caught calling Jadis Ann and vice versa. So with Laura, I'm going to call her Laura because the episode is titled Laura. So for now, let's just stick with Laura. It'll be easier. You'll know who I'm talking about. So she was washed up on the shore. And he says, the good news is it's not a walker bite. But it looks like she was stabbed. It looks like a pretty good cut. And I will tell you that the way they're canoeing, it's a little scary. Pete D in the house. What's going on, Pete D? Pete will have a super chat. Pete, super chat spotlight just for you. Is there anybody else on Fear the Walking Dead that you want to see hit the road besides as much as Tara on The Walking Dead? So, here's what we know about Laura at this point. She apparently said she was a nurse. Definitely. Wonderful vacation. Thank you, Pete. And, yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm still, well, I'm not full scale anti-Madison. I'm still waiting to see if she turns it around this season. Before the season, I would have said 100%. I was not a fan, but still waiting. If she suffers a lot and, you know, she's already lost her son, maybe that can change her character. So this is what we know about Laura at this point. She has said she has a medical background, but she did talk about cars. So, question for the group. And well, she said that she saw a lot of trauma patients when they came in. But I think she did set up the infirmary. And she did help a few people. So I do have to think that there is a nursing background. Good point. Mina Raven says Laura could be another Rosita learns a lot about a lot of things. Drama King, New York City says, Kills, didn't John call her his wife? I think he did. That is a great... If he did call her his wife, then John's being a little too possessive. I feel like tonight is going to be one of those pretty epic water scenes, because we didn't see a whole lot of walkers in the water with The Walking Dead until Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, Fear the Walking Dead took it to a whole different level. You know, with Strand and the boat and the underwater. But I still don't know I would be out there canoeing. Well, Mina, I don't think so. And I think they might have had maybe a makeshift shotgun wedding or something after the apocalypse, because in the teaser, they're going down the river, and she's just asking him questions. So they've been together what seems like a short period of time, and because she did say, and she was healed at that point. So at some point, she gets washed up and she's not bitten, and I think that's early on when they first meet. And then they're getting to know each other. So if he did say wife, it might just be along the lines of, hey, nobody else is around, let's marry ourselves. That's the only thing. I know it's a little corny. Or, you know, he just assumes that it's like common law, you know, we're here and that's his wife. I don't think she's dead either. And that's a good point, Drama, because we've been going back and forth with this. And I do think that everyone's flaws are going to be exposed. What we're starting to find out with Fear the Walking Dead, we mentioned this last week. We watch the episode and we look for all the things that we like about people. The one thing they're doing really, really well is they're showing everybody has a weakness. You might think they're good and you might get attached to them. Like John, there's a whole group of people that are already attached to John. And we may find out that John is a little possessive. Laura, they may make her out to look like she's snooping around and she's a thief and she's on the run. Maybe not. Maybe that's not the case. So Mark Jacob wants to know the vultures. What will come from them? The less we see with the vultures, the more I think they're building it up for a big, big mid-season finale. So there's two things I want to talk about with the vultures. One, the current state of the vultures, and number two, the build-up to what happens at the stadium. And within the next couple weeks, I mean, we're on episode number 5. So within 3 weeks, I think this is all going to come to fruition. I think we're going to see exactly what goes down. There are pictures, clips out there of Morgan and Madison. So the thought is that Madison is still, that she's going to make it. And I know many of you, when we did the Fear the Walking Dead prediction, said, that stadium could be on fire. They could back the truck up with walkers. I would tend to think that they've got all those walkers in the back of the truck and they capture them. They move them from place to place. Here's a question for the group. The stadium scene where many of you said it could be a fire. Is it possible that they are feeding those walkers humans, that they just back them up to a community? They do their little circus thing. They wait them out, and then they find a moment just to unleash them and then recapture them. I know that's dark and twisted, but that could possibly be what the vultures do. And then, well, let me throw it out there to the group. I've set you up for this one. Question for the group, and your comment will be a permanent part of this video. Why are they called the vultures? I'm going to give you my theory to this. As soon as I read a couple of your comments. I think someone's going to get this. And we haven't really talked about the name vultures, but I do think that is the key. Exactly, Mercedes Velasquez, because they hang around. Well, a little bit. Ann Hodge, you hit it. You said exactly what I wanted to say. Jimmy's jamming. They pick the bones. Great comment. And because they prey upon the dead. So, exactly. Jamie Kreisig says, but vultures don't kill. They don't have to kill. If the walkers do the killing, they just round the walkers back up and the vultures swoop in and they take all of your stuff. That's what I think. That's what I think they are. That's how I think they got their name. I think that is their whole motivation. They could have already swooped in and killed the group. I think they let the walkers do their dirty work for them. Then they round the walkers back up and they take all your stuff. Well, Jamie, I would use the analogy. If a vulture is flying along beside a a tiger wouldn't fly. So let me use your analogy and tell you why it's not. All right. There's a tiger and there's a vulture flying a couple feet above the tiger's head, and they're partners and they're going side by side. And a tiger sees something and a tiger kills it. And then the tiger walks away. And then the vulture comes down and finishes it. Well, that would be the same thing as the vultures. The tiger's doing the killing, but the vulture's picking it up. So in their mind, yes, are they responsible for the act of killing? Yes, they are. But they're not doing the actual work, and they go in and take all the stuff. That's why I think they're the vultures. And let me get to Jimmy's Jamming, because Jimmy Jamming with that super chat as well. And thank you, Jimmy. That'll be a permanent part of this video. They pick the bones, so they pick them clean. And absolutely, Mina Raven says, and they get new walkers out of the deal. So they're constantly replenishing. Circle and wait. I was a little concerned when I saw the name vultures. Let's be honest here. Give me a quick 999 in chat if you thought the name vultures was a little corny when you first heard it. Like, we heard saviors and then we heard wolves and it was like, the vultures. Okay. That's like a some gang. But then I had to really think about, there's some meaning behind it. Here's one thing I know about The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. When they do something so blatantly corny, it's got a deep meaning to it. And I really feel like it's going to be one of those aha moments, like, oh, you hear that name and you just kind of take it in stride. But at some point, I think we're going to get the real explanation. And maybe Mel will even tell him later on. Maybe he'll tell Madison, after they capture Madison, hey, want to know why we're called the Vultures? Just something along those lines. See, Pete, here's the thing also with the Vultures. Let me use another analogy. You can get in a boat and you can drive around and you can fish. And you can try every little cove, every little spot, every little whatever. Or you can go to one spot that has just like a school of fish passing through. Maybe, the water temperature, or you've done your research, whatever the case may be. Then you wait. Instead of just bouncing around, you go there until you completely extract it. Then you move. You move in coordination. Plus, the other thing is, if people have their community set up, it's easy to take their stuff and also watch where they scavenge. All right, a couple other things with tonight's episode. In the teaser, John had his face covered in blood. I'm going to ask the question for the group. Walker blood? Or is that going to be a flashback from when John was a cop? John actually made a comment and said, Laura said, where are your guns? And he said something along the lines like, guns cause more pain or guns hurt more. So there's a reason why John, I think, put his guns away. I got a feeling he had a bad experience as a cop. And now that the world's kind of gone to hell, he decided to get his weapons back out. Fluff, it's that bear trap. Hey, you know what? I didn't think there would be bear traps in Virginia. I was wrong. Those of you that have been around for a while, you know exactly what we're talking about. We spent a lot of time debating that bear trap. Yeah, I mean, Trigger Happy Jack. That's a Trigger Happy John. It's a song by Poe, if you guys Yeah, you're right, Villar. He says he doesn't kill. So it's very likely we're going to see, I think, a flashback scene of his difficulty as a cop. So Hippo wants to know, you think John was a crooked cop? So let me ask the group that question. Will we potentially see a dark side of John? Could John be a crooked cop? I also like this picture. And if I had to guess, I would say this picture is pre-apocalypse only because of how organized everything is. Maggie says, not crooked, just a whiskey drinker. Donald the Frank says, John's got skeletons in his closet. Fluff accidentally killed someone. Mina says, in a bad situation, and it hit him hard. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that, right? We've seen that with The Walking Dead. Ron Burgundy says, John is straighter than an arrow. I don't know. I like the fact that they're willing to expose a few character flaws. Is John stalking Naomi? Laura, was he obsessed with her? No, from the teaser scenes, it looks like Laura was in a bad situation and John helped her. That I know. Pete says John's a good guy in a bad situation. I definitely think now he is Pete, and when he helped, okay, I'm going to shine some light on this. When he helped Laura, it was already zombie apocalypse, so they met afterwards. Because he says, you're washed up on the shore, and the good news is it wasn't a walker bite. I think he said the words walker bite. And what I'm going to ask everybody tonight, listen for that, because if he did say that to Laura, where would he get the term walker from when Morgan is the first one to introduce him that? That could be a mistake. I'm almost positive that I heard him say that. That'll give everybody something to look for tonight while they're watching. Just kind of take your notes. Oh, he said just a bite. Okay. Somebody else says, I think it was Maggie a minute ago, Laura had some badassery in her background. I agree with that too. I don't think she's a nurse. I think she got some drug connections. She knows about cars. I think she stole cars, and I think she sold drugs. Because when she got the antibiotics, she was like, oh, this stuff, you need this. And she was ready to hit the road. I think she's Breaking Bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's probably some nurses that can fight. Good point, Wilson. Wilson says, I think Laura's story's on tape. That would be nice. All right, everybody, we are at 8:29, so I'm going to cut this right at 8:30. I do want to say we got a ton of people here. If you guys could all do me a favor and Laura, that like button real quick. I don't know. It's the first thing because it's going to be Laura, Naomi. It's going to be something. We'll find out whether she's telling the truth. Vulture the like button. Swoop in and vulture that like button. So I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for all the comments. We're back in full effect, so you will get a full dose of the 99 Army Tonight at 10:20, we'll do our reaction video. I think this episode is going to be really, really good once again. This season has just been phenomenal. And then we'll do a recap tomorrow. We got a lot of good stuff coming up this week. We're going to do random things. We're going to do our bold predictions on Wednesday. And then we will get into Game of Thrones. So we're going to start out mild. Hopefully you guys get a chance to at least start watching. But we are going to start recapping, talk about some news, and it's just going to be a weekly occurrence. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody being here. I am not going to do shout-outs in this video tonight because I know some people want to go eat and they want to get ready and do all their stuff before we get to Fear the Walking Dead. We'll do some shout-outs after the video tonight. Thanks once again. It is a pleasure to be back. So good to hang out with all of you guys. And also, those moms out there, have a wonderful Mother's Day. And let's go Fear the Walking Dead. Talk to everybody in about 2 hours. Peace.